Hello?
Okay.
Oh, yay, it's working. I was so worried it wasn't going to work. Oh. So, can you tell me a bit about your experience with the Grand National, how many times you've entered, and what it's like?
I think I've rode the national 9 times now. Best was third about 6 years ago on T for three. Completed on quite a few Cornish set. Yeah, numerous others. Had a few falls. It's it's a great race to be part of. Be better to win it, but it's getting. People say it's getting easier because the jump's getting smaller, but personally, I think it's getting harder. You need a much better horse to win, like a high quality horse. Because the ratings are getting so high, you need a just short of a gold cup class horse to be winning that race. And the Irish are dominating so much. It's proven difficult, but it's the race that your friends watch, that your family that wouldn't watch you daily. It's like it is to the wider nation. It's massive, and it's great to be part of. And I think it's massive for racing, and it's great that the race is being able to keep its prestige and still have that health and safety factor.
Is there a certain part of the course that makes you more nervous than another part of the course?
Not really. It all depends what you're on. Like some horses might favour doing things than others, and you know, every year is different. You can be different circumstances. It could be softer. It can be better, quick ground. So if it's quick ground, they go very fast. If it's soft ground, it can be an endurance test. And I had a good spin for a circuit this year, but then my horse couldn't cope with the quicker conditions, and I had to pull him up. So like, it's all depending on what you're on, really. And the others around you, that's as much as anything. And you need a lot of luck in the race, but you also need that horse that can do all jump, travel, gallop, and have the class to win the race.
So, as you're coming up to the jump, you see a stride, right? What if you get that stride wrong? Do you then ask to take off earlier?
You hope your horse is clever enough to work it out himself and get you out the trouble. But the good ones can shorten or lengthen depending on how you're meeting the obstacle. Say if I've asked for a longer one and that horse has gone, no, I can't do that. The clever horses will put another stride in and still get up. And whereas if a horse tries to do what you've told it, and it might not get there and might cause a fall. So the famous saying is a loose horse never falls. So if you leave it to them, the horse can work it out for themselves. But if you get your stride wrong, and if you get it completely wrong, you're relying on the horse to get you out of the trouble, really.
But is it not harder to see your stride when there's so many runners?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, these horses that go into that race, I promise you, have to be a very high standard. So the quality of the animal is very high. So the horses you're on are well above average. So they anticipate the jump coming, and they that you can feel them underneath you, trying to sort it out for themselves as well. So it's not completely rider dependent. The horse would be the main. He'd be the one that's can see the fence probably before you.
And when you're asking for a stride, is it the same as when you're normally riding? Because obviously, whether your stirrups are shorter, are you still using your legs to ask for the stride?
Yeah, you would. Yeah, every horse is different. Some horses take you into the fence. Some horses back off a fence. So some horses you might be able to squeeze into them. Other horses you might have to take back because they'll be trying to do it too fast. And yeah, every horse is different. And you usually ride them before you've ridden them in a race. You get some idea, but if you haven't ridden them before, the horse I rode in the Grand National, I'd never previously rode in a race, but I'd watch his replays and I felt that he'd come from France and he liked sorting himself out. So I tried just basically to do less and try not interfere with him too much and let him, sort himself out. And you've got to put a lot of, respect on the horse because, at the end of the day, the horse is the one that's having to jump the jump. So you have to put your faith in them as much as anything.
What was the atmosphere like this year when Rachel Blackmore won and obviously made history?
It obviously was, and not like, I think it was phenomenal what she did. She's a tremendous rider. She gave it a fantastic ride and it was truly deserved to win, but the crowd wasn't there.
Yeah.
But I think the idea did a fantastic coverage, and she got all the praise she truly deserved. And and I personally think the trainer was remarkable what he achieved this season. Henry de Bromhead, with the races he won and some of the results he come out with. I think he had the third in the national, as well. So it was remarkable, really, what they achieved.
So even with the restrictions, you were still able to celebrate a little bit, or like come outside and be a bit closer? Because I just thought with the restrictions, like I watched it on telly, but I know it wasn't the same without the crowds. But was it still? I'm sure it was still nice.
Yeah, you still can feel there's definitely you haven't got the Liverpool ladies there like dancing around, but other than that, it was, anyone within the race and the sport appreciates what it takes to win as well. So, from someone that's in the sport, I certainly appreciate it.
So I just want to talk about now. You were off for a while with an injury. You broke your leg, correct? How did that happen?
It was I basically finished the race. I hate talking about it because it's just like finished the race at Fontwell. Just I think I had quite a few rides that day. It was just I finished, pulled out a horse that Bridget Andrews of the Skeletons was running loose that previous fell at 3 out. I was unaware of. I was just pulling up, just come back to a walk, and this loose horse just basically just kept galloped into the side of me. And as it galloped into the side of me, my leg was in the middle and crushed my tib and fib quite badly. And so I was just sat there on the horse screaming, ow. And I think everyone around me was like, what's he on about? Because, you pull up every day in a race. And I was there and I just slipped off the horse, then, come off it. And I knew right away that it was broken because the pain that I was getting. But it was the collision from one horse. My leg was in the middle. The two horses collided. Although I was only in walk, the other one was in canter, and just the impact just basically crushed my tib and fib. And I was off the majority of the winter season, which can be really tough to miss out on, because that's where we get our most work from is in the winter. So to miss all that was hard, but it was I had great support, great people looking after me, and it was it was a tough 3 months, breaking your leg, but thankfully it's behind us now.
Did you have help from the Injured Jockey Fund?
Yeah, so I actually spent a bit of time in Oakley House and Sir Peter O'Sullivan House, and the physios and the gym people, from even a week after my operation, I sort of was getting physio right away, doing everything we can to get the swelling, just from day one. It was, they look after you nutrition wise, they give you the supplements that you need to help you heal quicker. They give you the ice boxes that make the swelling go down. They give you everything, and then when you're sort of getting back, they strengthen your leg, make sure you've got enough muscle there. They have water, like treadmills, so you can sort of get yourself walking and running before you can, and not put the pressure on it, but get the movement back. They have so many facilities, and I certainly wouldn't have been back as quick without them, as quick as I was, and I wouldn't have been around at the Cheltenham Festival without them. And it's a charity funded thing, and I'm very much grateful for what they've done. Every jockey that you speak to could never speak highly enough of them.
And I suppose they assess you and then say, when you're ready to go back to work.
Yeah, you have to pass like a fitness test, and you have to ride out and show that you can't just sort of think, oh yeah, I'm fine, and get back. You have to pass certain tests and make sure X-rays and your specialist and everything's happy. So it's it's a really well run. They work alongside the BHA doctors, and liaise for them, so they make sure you're. I always think when you hear people, are they fit when they come back? You're probably fitter when you come back than when you are every day, because you're doing it more often, and they really do get you in good shape.
And is your leg? Does it feel as good as it did before now?
Yeah, touch wood. Yeah, I think so. Some people say I'm like not a very good runner, but I probably weren't very good before, so I blame the leg. But no, I don't think I'll ever be popular, but no, it's all right.
Well, that's good. That's good that it's nearly back together. I shouldn't say back together, fixed.
I just put my thing on charge. I see
Yeah,
the battery flashing.
of course. Who's the picture behind you?
I can't remember the horse's name, to be honest.
That's a great picture.
Can't remember its name. It's a good picture.
Next, I'd just like to talk about your view on social media. So obviously things have come out about trolls online. Have you ever had anything like that before?
Yeah, lots, and I think every jockey does, and any sportsman does. I think anyone in the limelight, anyone on TV. I don't think it's just within racing. I think it's in general. Don't matter who. If you're on telly or in public eye, you're always going to get some sort of criticism, and I'm not sure how it can be stopped. But it's not right. I'm not saying it's right, but I think if you're in that sort of aspect, you are going to be um, you're going to be open to that, and you need to accept that. But I do think it needs to, some of the things, the Safi Osborne thing was horrendous. You can't, it can't be right to sort of say you're going to rape someone, or in any walk of life, you can't say things like that. Don't matter if you are in the public eye, they can't be allowed. Someone behind a computer being allowed to do that, and I think there needs to be more, stop to that, and sending death threats and things like that. I don't know how people can get away with it, but it needs to be stopped. Yeah, but I don't think it's just within racing. I think I used to have Twitter. I don't have it no more, but I used to have it, and it didn't really bother me. I just laugh about it. But there would be, obviously, with the mental health thing that's quite talked about at the moment. It's that's certain things like that certainly don't help.
Within the racing industry, is there I want to say classes, but is there like, someone who you can go to for advice on how to deal with things like that on social media?
Yeah, there is, and I think every young jockey coming through now gets a jockey coach, who was formerly a jockey or someone that's within the racing industry that they can go and speak to about this sort of thing. And you see the young lads coming in now after the races, they'll be checking their Twitter to see, if they've beaten on a favourite or what abuse they're going to get. And although people laugh about it, they probably do have, it doesn't help, it doesn't help the way you think. But I'm not quite sure how it can be stopped, because, if you have social media, you are open to criticism, and, people are allowed to have an opinion on something, it's like football and rugby, whatever it may be. And, you are open to criticism, and it just depends how you take it. But I think it's whatever sport you're in, you're going to get it if you're in the public eye.
I mean, I thought even perhaps if they had a filter situation where, if these key words came in, then it would be blocked. I mean, I don't know, maybe Twitter can pay me thousands of pounds for my idea, but, it's terrible, especially when I saw that from Safi Osborne, like someone who could say that. But then again, it's just people hiding behind keyboards.
Yeah, and they can, it's, how easy it is to set up an account, and, how can you track it back to these people? I don't know. It's, but I'm sure there has to be a way, there has to be a way to stop it.
Moving away from social media, going forward, what are you hopeful for in the next season?
Just injury free would be nice. That's always key, and stay fit and healthy, and do the best you can for the horses that you're on, and try and take those opportunities when you get them, and try not to leave many winners behind. And if you can get one, the big festivals, that's a massive help. And any graded races, or whatever comes your way, and you just got to make the best of the opportunity. And I'd like to sort of hopefully have a good kick this winter, and because the last two, with Corona and being injured for so long, I feel like I'm quite fresh, so I need to give it a kick this winter.
Have you got any ones to follow this season? Anything that takes your fancy?
Yeah, there's a lot of nice horses that previous from last year, and you hope that they've grown and they've matured. And obviously Sky Pirate was my main flagship horse for last year, and it'd be nice if he could step up to Grade 1 company. That would be something to look forward to. And yeah, and then you're just hoping those young horses that have won their bumpers, novice hurdles, that they can progress into the next Sky Pirates and win at the festival Grade 1s.
That's all my questions. That is all of them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.